the number of staff at the office of the president from 998 to 1,614. They even further calculated and said that it amounts to an increase of 616 extra staffers. After several requests for them to offer proof to back this claim, they referred to the 2019 budget as the source of their claim and proceeded further to claim that any such action will amount to a burden on the public purse. This afternoon, there are three things that government wishes to share with you on this matter. One, that claim is false. Two, the makers of the claim have either confused Office of Government Machinery with Office of the President, or are only up to political mischief. And three, contrary to the claim, staff numbers at the Office of the President and even the Office of Government Machinery itself are rather going through a programmed reduction, not an increase. And I would like to show you some numbers up here on the screens here, just to help us understand a bit further. Now, first of all, there's a clear difference between the Office of Government Machinery and the Office of the President. The executive arm of government is organized into ministries, departments, and agencies. The supervising outfit of the executive arm is referred to as the Office of Government Machinery, and it comprises about 19 different units, one of which is the Office of the President. I have with me here the 2019 budget and the 2018 budget statement. If you go to the 2018 budget statement, page 185, which outlines what we call the staff establishment and costs. Essentially what it does is that it outlines the maximum number of people you can have in any unit and the maximum amount of money that can be spent on them. So if you go to page 185, Office of Government Machinery, the ceiling for staff is 1,697. This is 2018. I've provided it on the screens to my left and to my right, 1,697. If you come to the 2019 budget, and again you go to the MDA staff establishment and cost 2019, you will find that the Office of Government Machinery ceiling of staff is 1,614. In actual fact, therefore, the staff ceiling from 2018 to 2019 is going through a programmed reduction. I'm sure you all have copies of the 2018 budget. It's online. We can all validate. From 1,697 coming down to 1,614. But that's not even the real point. I want to take you a bit further. At the Office of Government Machinery, as I mentioned, you have up to about 19 different entities or agencies. Is that on the next slide? Yes. You will find on this list about 19 different entities or agencies. The Office of the President is just one of them. On this list, you will find that in 2018, the Office of the President itself is programmed to have, in terms of staffers, 785, plus another about 240 who come from a number of agencies on secondment to the Office of the President. And if I just may go through, that extra 240 will be from Department of Parks and Gardens, the Ghana Health Services, Control and Accountant General Department, Audit Service, Ghana National Fire Service, PWD, Telecom, Telephone Exchange, and the Ghana Postal Company. They add up to the 785 to give you the 998 that you have at the Office of the President. But you also have a number of other agencies. The Millennium Development Authority is part of the Office of Government Machinery. The African Fund for Biofuels, State Enterprises Commission, the Divestiture Implementation Committee, Office of the Senior Minister, Council of State, State Protocol Department, Scholarship Secretariat, Ghana AIDS Commission, Office of the Administrator General, National Population Council, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the Internal Audit Agency, SADA, which is now no longer in existence, NIA, MASLOC, and now you would notice that we've added NAPCO to it. All of those agencies form part of the Office of Government Machinery. And if you go to the totals, go down to the totals, you'll find that in 2018, the numbers I gave you, the establishment ceiling was 1,697. In the 2019 budget, it's 1,614. So what is actually happening is that the program is reducing from 1,697 to 1,614. And this is mostly as a result of retirements that are not being replaced and some of the offices that have been closed down. For example, SADA, you would notice that it's no longer existent. Now let's go back to the initial slides that were posted up. The reason for which we argue that those who make this claim are either confusing Office of the President with Office of Government Machinery or are up to political mischief is that it is only when you compare the 998 from the Office of the President only to the bigger Office of Government Machinery 1614 that you can arrive at that claim that there is going to be an increase in numbers, and that increase in numbers is even about 616. But that is totally false. That's totally untrue. We honestly don't want to believe that the persons who made this claim were just up to political mischief. We don't believe that they deliberately set out there to misinform the Ghanaian public. And so we are tempted to believe that it's because they confused the two. But as a matter of fact, Office of the President is different from Office of Government Machinery. And even for Office of Government Machinery, the numbers are coming down, as I've demonstrated to you. You have copies of the budget. I've mentioned the pages out to you. I know your newsrooms do a lot of fact-checking. I encourage you to pull out the facts, and let's settle this matter once and for all. As I mentioned, contrary to these claims, the staff establishment numbers are rather programmed for a reduction. Specifically for the Office of the President itself, there's a programmed reduction. If you look at the reasons I gave earlier, that will bring it down by about 69 by the end of 2019. And for the broader Office of Government Machinery, you will notice that there will be a net reduction of about 83, because you notice that there are some of the new agencies like NAPCO, etc., that are coming. So there'll be a net reduction of 83. So contrary to the claims of an increase in numbers, there's rather a reduction in the numbers by 69, specifically at the Office of the President, and a net reduction of 83 in all at the entire Office of Government Machinery. Colleagues, government is also entreating the media to subject people who make claims about facts to first substantiate them before you give them media mileage to repeatedly peddle such unsubstantiated claims. The basic rule of evidence is that if you allege, the onus is on you to prove. If we do not push people who first make these sort of allegations to prove their claims, and instead we give them mileage to keep repeating these false claims, only to turn around and ask persons against whose false claims have been made to rather come forward and prove their innocence, the media will soon be taken for a ride by people who feel that they can just make claims and you will publish it and not check it yourself. So we encourage you to check some of these things and help us to educate the Ghanaian public accordingly.